This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
Hey there, Joe Walsh here. I will not stop beating this drum. I don't give a damn if you're sick and tired of hearing me talk about this. It's too damn important. It's too damn important to our democracy. I don't want another January 6th to happen. Most importantly, I want the American people to understand that if they don't do this, if we don't do this, our democracy is done. If I were asked, if I were to run again, if I am ever a candidate again, and I am asked the very simple question, will you accept the results of the election? That's a question right now that plenty of candidates are being asked, and they're being asked that question because Donald Trump again refuses to commit to saying that he'll accept the results of the election, and because my former political party is a cult, most Republicans right now, when asked, will you accept the results of the 2024 election, win, lose, or draw, they won't pledge either to accept the results of the election. This is really bad. This is really scary. This is really dangerous. And again, I don't give a damn if you're sick of me talking about this. I don't. It's just too important. So if I'm asked, if I'm a candidate right now, if I'm running for president right now, or running to go back to Congress right now, and somebody on Fox or CNN asks me, Joe, will you accept the results of the election? Here's my response. What kind of question is that? Why would you ask me that? Of course I will. Of course I'll accept the results of the election. Look, like any other candidate, if there are problems with the voting, we'll look into it. But the process works. And I have great faith in our voting process. I mean, every 2 years, millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans vote in this country every 2 years. And every 2 years, maybe a handful of voting irregularities are scattered throughout the entire country. The process works, and it's really dangerous for politicians and candidates to sow distrust in the process. Of course, I'll accept the results of the election. Here's the deal. Most importantly, win or lose, every candidate must accept the results of the election. That's the only way this thing survives. That's the only way our democracy continues. I mean, look at the alternative. What if candidates don't accept the election results if they lose? What if more and more Americans refuse to accept the election results when their candidate loses? We have a representative democracy, a republic, a constitutional republic, a representative democracy. Every 2 years we vote for people to represent us, we the people. If that process ends, if the integrity of that process is no longer accepted, the process of every 2 years us voting on and sending people to represent us, if that process ends, breaks down, we no longer have a representative democracy. We no longer have a democracy. Of course I'd accept the results of the election. What kind of a stupid-ass question is that? Our democracy depends upon my acceptance. As a candidate, certainly our democracy depends upon my acceptance. But beyond our candidates, guys, I'm looking at you and me right now, because I'm not a candidate right now. I'm looking at you and me right now, American people. We got to fucking grow up. We've got to stop this. Our elections process, you know, I think I've mentioned this before, the Heritage Foundation, a right of center think tank. No lefty, no liberal think tank. The Heritage Foundation, a few years back, did a study. A few billion votes in all elections in America in like the last 15 to 20 years. And the Heritage Foundation, out of those billions of votes cast in all elections in the last 15 to 20 years, they found something like 173 cases of voter irregularity, potential voter fraud. 15 to 20 years, a few billion ballots cast, and the Heritage Foundation found about 173 questionable votes. Don't you dare tell me this process doesn't work. This process won't work if Trump and so many other of these Republican candidates continue to sow distrust. And I know for certain that this process will not work if the American people say we will not accept the results. No, I will not stop talking about this. This is too damn important. Our democracy ends if we don't keep this pledge with each other that win or lose, we fight our ass off every 2 years for our candidate, but win or lose, we all shake hands and accept the results. We've all pledged to do that. We stop that, this thing dies. I'm Joe Walsh. Thanks for listening. This is White Flag with Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh White Flag at gmail.com. All one word. Joe Walsh White Flag at gmail.com. That's my email. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.